did mention burgeoning nationalism in China and areas obviously controlled by China. Our colleagues have seen domestic security budgets for places like Tibet and East Turkestan or Xinjiang. They have gone up by almost 400% in a 10-year frame. However, rather disturbingly, particularly right now, we see a renewal of religious repression within Tibet. As you are more than aware, this is the holy month of Sagadawa. It is interesting to see the Chinese repress personal religious practice in the name of COVID, all the while denying that COVID even exists in the Tibetan plateau. Considering, if you were to take a long-term perspective, considering that the refugee flow from Tibet into India has stemmed as borders gotten more militarized, how will the Central Tibetan Administration preserve Tibetan religion, culture, and identity within Tibet? It almost seems as if there is a race on China's part to completely sinicize and alter the region.
Yeah, one of the major concerns is the larger issue of Sinification or Sinicization of Tibet. And that is being done at various levels. The most concerning is the demographic aggression. Over the last many decades now, we have seen that more and more Chinese are moving into Tibet. We all know that Tibet's landmass is almost quarter of China's landmass.
Of course.
But the Tibet's population is only 6 million compared to that of 1.4 billion in China. So it's very challenging for us because of the demographic aggression. I have always said that we are not against multiculturalism. We appreciate multiculturalism. It's happening all over the world. People move from place to place, and you have various cultures coming together. It's a melting pot of cultures in many different parts of the world. But when a majority, one single majority community completely overwhelms a national minority, then it amounts to cultural genocide. So over and above the demographic aggression, you talked about religious freedom. We have seen over the years from Mao Zedong's time to Deng Xiaoping to Jiang Zemin to Hu Jintao to now President Xi Jinping, that there have been more and more curbs on the religious freedom of the numbers of people. And monks in the monasteries have gone down. There is much more surveillance in the monasteries. Now the management committees are filled by local officials, communist officials. Now the most concerning, of course, is the recognition of reincarnation of lamas. So these are all ways and means by the Chinese government, besides control over the Tibetan language. I always say we are an extension of Indian culture, whether it's to do with language or whether it's to do with the Tibetan Buddhism that is derived from India. So language has also become just a study of language. Tibetan as a medium has been abolished. Chinese language is imposed on the Tibetan, and even if you study Tibetan, it's very difficult to get jobs and make a living. So likewise, the more concerning issue is also the environmental issue of Tibet, because Tibet is very fragile. You know, it's the roof of the world. What people call us, we call ourselves land surrounded by snow mountains. Westerners call it roof of the world. Asians call it water tower of Asia. So all these, it's not just one single issue that concerns us, it's multiple issues. So my job would be to point out to the Chinese government the policies and programs that they are following right now inside Tibet is not beneficial for China, for the Tibetan people, and for the whole geopolitical region, and make corrections wherever possible. That would be an effort till we are able to reach a lasting solution for the Tibetan issue or the Sino-Tibetan conflict.